Hi guys, so good morning everyone. Am I audible? Online? Online students are audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So in the last class we were seeing inheritance concept and yeah, types of methods we have seen. Okay, so let's proceed with the types of methods. So I believe you understood, right, which method is called what? If the okay, let's give me the answer for this one. If the method present only in the child class, such method is called as specialized method. Method is present in the only in the parent class. Inherited method. Okay. If the method is present in both parent and child class, overridden. Okay. So or shall I execute directly instead of writing on the board? Okay, I want to show you one program. Let me execute it. I'm opening Eclipse. Okay, is the Eclipse visible? Yeah. Fine. Okay, let me go there. Now, what concept I'm explaining, if you understand that one, then it is very easy for you to understand polymorphism concept also. So carefully look at here. I'll create a class called calculator. Okay. Inside this one, what I'll do, I'll create a method called void add. Okay, void add method. Okay. Next, what I'll do, I'll tell you, I'll give you a message here as okay, parent add. Parent add. Okay. Now, similarly, what I'll do, I'll create one more method. I'll tell here as I'll tell what sub method. Okay, sub method. I'll tell parent sub method. Okay. Now, what I'll do, I'll create a child class. I'll tell class. I'll tell cal. Okay. Otherwise, I'll tell the class name as child itself. I'll tell extends calculator class. Okay, calculator class, and inside this one, what I'll do. Now tell me how many methods are present in the child class? How many methods? Two methods. Which are those? Add and subtract method. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'll create an object of the child class. I'll tell C, and through that C, I'll tell C dot add method, C dot sub method. You can see here, I've added. I'll run as Java application. You can see those two methods are getting inherited and getting executed. Got the clarity? So what are those? Add and sub are the inherited method in the child class. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll tell here as, I'll tell void add. Okay. And I'll tell here as what? I'll tell child add. Okay. Now, what is the add method here? Overridden method. Explicitly present in the parent class as well as the child class, but sub method will act as a inherited method only. When I run here as a Java application, can you see here? Child add is coming. Why? Because your overridden method is nothing but you're taking a body from parent, but changing the body in the child class. Got the clarity? Now, what I'll do here is I'll tell here as one more method called. Okay, first you copy this, then I'll give you a note for the next one. Okay, copy this one first.
Sir, we can also check it is overridden or not by using the overridden annotations.
Yes. It is not compulsory to write @ overwrite for normal inheritance program annotation. It will become mandatory when in the abstraction and interface concept. But here you can see now it is acting as overridden method, even though I have not given annotation. Done. Okay. Now, okay, I'll give you one diagram. I want you to write a program for that. Okay. Wait, but you should be quick, guys. I believe last time which example I've taken OS example, right? Okay, same I'll take them. I'll tell OS class, okay, and I'll tell this one as void boot, okay, and I'll tell as void shutdown, okay. Same thing I'll copy, I'll paste it here, and I'll paste it here. Okay, I'll tell this extends this one, and as well as this one. Let it go from here to there. Okay, got it? Now I want you to write a program for this. Can you do it quickly? How much time you require?
5 minutes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Quickly. Then I'll tell the changes in that. Make it fast. Write down the diagram first. I'll remove void shutdown from the, wait, I'll give the class names. I'll tell this one as a Windows class. Okay, I'll tell this one as a Linux class, and this one as a Mac. Okay, Mac. So that shutdown will act as a inherited method in the Linux class. Diagram is visible, right? Done.
Yes, sir.
Not diagram, program.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Program also done.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Executed or written?
Sir, executed, sir.
Executed. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Do one thing. Small changes in that program. Okay. You have executed, right? That is. Now your program will be executing all the classes. Means all the methods in all the classes, right?
Yes, sir.
Now collect a value from the user. Okay. Based on his choice, execute. If user tell Windows, only Windows class should be program method should be executed. Mac means Mac method should be executed. That changes you do. You can make use of a switch case. Can you do that?
Sir, let me try, sir, first.
Okay, okay. Make it fast.
Done, sir.
Okay, done guys. Okay, I'll execute. Okay, you check the screen. Class is what? OS. Okay, inside this one has void boot. Okay, and what I'll do here is OS is booting, and what I'll do here is shut down. OS is shutting down. Okay, similarly, what I'll do here is I'll tell create a class name. I'll tell it as something called Windows extends OS class. Okay, OS class, and what I'll do, I'll capital O. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll just change the body of this one.
Only boot will be there, sir.
Huh?
In this class, only boot will be there.
Sorry.
In Windows,
No.
only boot will be there. Boot method only.
That is in Linux, na? See here, in Windows boot and shutdown is there. In the Linux only boot is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell Windows is shutting down, and similarly, I'll create one more class. Class name I'll tell it as something called Linux, and here I'll tell this Linux is booting, and here I'll remove this one. Okay. Similarly, what I'll do, I'll create one more class. Okay, class name I'll just tell it as Mac. Okay, and I'll tell this one as Mac is booting, and I'll tell this one as a Mac is shutting down. And what I'll do, okay. So as I told to your friend, let me collect a value from the user. Based on that, we will just execute that particular class. I'll create an object of a scanner. Okay, scanner object I've created. I'll tell system system dot in. Okay, reference I'll create for this one. Okay, I'll just name it as scan. I'll ask the user, please enter your choice. Okay, please enter your choice. Okay, and I'll tell sysout. I'll tell it as one. I'll tell it as something called Windows. Okay, and I'll tell it as /n Okay, I'll tell to what is that? Linux. Okay, and I'll tell /n. I'll tell 3. I'll tell it as something called Mac. Okay. So I'll collect the user choice from the user. I'll tell int choice is equals to scan dot next int. Okay, I'll make use of a switch case. Okay, and what I'll do here is I'll pass the choice. Based on the choice, let me enter this one as 1, and I'll tell this one as soon as it comes here, what I'll do here is I'll create an object of which one? Windows. I'll tell new Windows. I'll create a reference as W, and I'll tell W dot boot, and I'll tell W dot shutdown. Okay, and what I'll do here is I can break inside also. So I'll close this one. Similarly, I'll create one more. What is that? One more case. 1 second, the system is hanging. Okay, I'll tell this one as case 2, and instead of Windows object, I'll create an object of a Linux. I'll tell new Linux. Okay, reference I'll tell it as L, and here I'll tell L dot boot, and here I'll tell it as L dot shutdown and break. Okay, similarly, I'll create one more this one case, and this time I'll tell case as equals to which one? Mac, right? I'll tell new Mac class, okay, reference I'll tell as M, and I'll tell this one as what? Mac dot boot and Mac dot shutdown, and I'll tell this to break. Okay, and what I'll do in the default case, I'll tell here as I'll give you a message here as please enter a valid choice. Okay, and what I can do, I can break, otherwise I'll tell system.exist. Okay, that I have told you, right? System.exit status of 0. Okay, and let me remove this break from here, and program is ready. Okay, now look at here, guys, what I have done here. I've created a class called OS, 2 methods inside this one. In Windows, again 2 methods overridden, and in Linux only 1 method overridden, 1 will be inherited, and in the Mac 2 method has been overridden. And what I've done, I've created an object of a scanner. I'm asking user to enter his choice. Based on his choice, I'm collecting his choice, passing into the switch case. Whatever the case is giving, those method, I'm just executing it. Am I clear till here? Okay, I'll run this program. Okay, Java application, and you can see it is asking me to enter the choice. Now tell me which one you want me to enter. I'll tell 3. You can see only the Mac object has been created and it is getting executed. Okay, and once again I'll execute. I'll tell 2 means see here Linux from the child class and shutting down from the parent class, because both inherited and overridden method is getting executed. Am I clear? Online, is it clear till here?
Sir, can you repeat the line again?
Sorry,
Sir, can you repeat the last line?
last line. Okay, this one.
No, sir, no, sir. In the executing execution part, sir.
Output. Okay.
Yeah.
See here, for Linux, I told. See, Linux, where I'm telling booting is what? Overridden method. But OS I have not written in the Linux class. But still, if you see in the code, I'm calling a shutting down. But shutting down is not present. Hence, it will act as an overridden method. This will act as an inherited overridden method. It will act as an inherited method in the child class. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you finish this copying quickly. I'll tell you the one major important question for an interview. From where you want to copy? Starting. Okay, make it fast. Yeah, just organize करने के लिए कोड. हाँ, नहीं है. नहीं. Make it fast. Because after this, I'll take constructor concept. Once that constructor concept is covered, I'll give you one big case study. Okay, it is a good and interesting case study. Some 150-200 lines code will be there, but it will be interesting. We'll solve. If you understand, see, just attend my class. If you understand the concept, you can solve any kind of case study. Okay, what and all theoretical I am telling, in that case study, practically we will implement it. Make it fast. Completed. Those who have completed, I'll give you one more small changes in the same program. Will you do? See here, if in the program, if I tell user, that is, let me tell user chooses Mac. So output will be Mac is booting, Mac will be shutting down. After that, program is halting. I don't want program to halt. I want the same program, same menu to be displayed again.
I am using the 2 by.
Do it. Until unless user tells no. Okay, give one more switch case and keep repeating. Let me see.
Sir, repeat the question, sir.
Whatever you want, you can use it.
Sir, repeat the question, sir.
Okay, question is that is, I see here, once I see here, if you see the output of this one, after displaying the Linux, the program has been halted. If I want one more output, I need to rerun the program. I don't want that one. I want the same program to be repeated again and again until unless user tells exit. Okay, give one more switch case exit. Until then, it should be keep on repeating.
Okay, sir.
Okay, do it. Let's see. There are multiple ways how we can achieve that. It is upon your idea how you are going to implement it. Do it fast. No, just in the logic way, right? Test class, main method is enough. That you make. You need not write complete program. Those who have not completed, please copy quickly this one. Any doubts, please ask. I have found some interview questions for you guys. Let me find it. Okay. Quickly. Are you guys aware of Bridgesoft company? Yeah, heard about it. I have few questions from those people. But in this, it has answers also. Otherwise, I'll share. Okay, I'll give test for this one. Let me see what are all topics are there. Okay, some advanced questions also there. Mostly MCQs are there. Your front end class is completed, huh?
Sir, no, sir. No, sir.
No, I have those questions also. Scroll up, huh? Okay. Scroll down now. See one by one later. Done. Guys, make it quick. Done. Okay. What about that looping you'll do? Or I should do now? कर दो? तुम क्या करोगे फिर? हाँ? Do while भूल गए? उधर अटका दूंगा उधर. हाँ? Do while भूल गए. बताओ. कैसे बच्चे मिले हैं मेरे को? Okay. Now look at here, guys. So what is that I want to do? I want to repeat the same task again and again. And what I'll do, I told you that I'll just simply create one more case. Okay. I'll tell fourth one. I'll give one message as exiting. Okay. Exiting. And I'll tell here as what? System.exit. System. Oh, 1 second. System.exit of status 0. Then this is not required for me. Okay. The chance I'll never give him to execute. Otherwise, let the default be there. I'll give just write the invalid choice. Okay. And if this should be displayed, and what is that I need to do? Again, I need to call the same method. Yes or no? So what I'll do, I'll just very simply here, come here, I'll call the main method. Okay, that's it. And I'll come here, I'll instead of break here, what I'll do, I'll call the main method. This I'm doing without which one? Do while loop. Simple. Okay, I'll run the program. Now look at here, guys. I'll tell one Windows. Can you see here? Windows is booting. Please enter your choice. I'll tell 2, again enter your choice. Again, I'll tell 3, again enter your choice. Wait 1 second. I have not given exit status right here. I'll tell here as /n 4 of exit. 4 for exit. Okay. Now I'll tell here as, let me tell 6 here. See here, enter a valid choice, and once again it is getting repeated. Got the clarity? 2 again it is repeated, 5 means 5 again repeated, 1 repeated, 2 repeated. It will keep on repeating until unless I enter 4 here. As soon as I enter 4, exiting and program has been halted. Simple. Do I require a dual loop here? Not at all required. Okay, if in case you want to do using dual loop, what you can do? In case you want to do it, this execute the same program using do while loop. What is the changes you need to do in this one? Simple. You create a do body, give this switch case inside this one, ask a message. Do you want to do a more transaction? Okay. Anyone wants to take this program now or directly do it with the do while? This one you understood, right? Okay. Now you want me to do the do while means I'll tell here something called do, and what I'll do here is I'll remove this body, and what I'll do after switch case, where is the switch case? Switch case body here. If I open, it is closing here. So what I'll do here is I'll tell do while of condition. Okay, I'll put a semicolon here. At that time, what I'll do, I'll remove this one. Remove this one. I'll tell fourth case is not required. And what I'll do, okay, let me remove this one also. Let me remove this also. Remove this also. But this time, if I break, I have to definitely break here. Otherwise, it will execute all the things here. I'll tell break. Okay, I'll tell break here. And break means it will break from the switch case. But outside when it go, I'll ask him to, do you want to do more transaction? Do you want to do more transaction? Okay, I'll collect the value from the user. I'll tell scan dot next. Okay, dot equals. I'll tell here as message as yes. Okay, will be repeated. Let me run the program, and you can see here. Okay, exit status is not there. Let me just delete that exit status. Yeah. Okay, I'll run the program. You can see here one. After that, do you want to do the more transaction? If I tell yes, again I'll tell 2. Do you want to do more transaction? I'll tell yes, and again 3. Again it is repeating. If I tell 1, see here. Hey, do you want to do more transaction? I entered 1 now. I'll tell. Check. I need to enter yes, right? Okay, look at here. 1. Do you want first one? Do you want to do more transaction? I'll tell yes. Again, enter the choice. Do more transaction. Yes. Again 3. And what is that? Again, do more transaction. Yes. And you can see it is keep on repeating. If I tell no, the program has been halted. Clear? Anyone has any doubts? You can copy this also if in case you require. What is that? You need to add a do here, and at last you just here collecting. See here, if I collect a value, okay, let me comment it so that you should not get idea about my question. If I tell here as string str is equals to scan dot next method here, and if I tell here as str here, then also it will work. Look at the code, line number 76 and 78. Now, if I write like this, still it will work in the same way. Yes or no? Yes, sir? Are
No,
you sure?
sir. No, sir.
See properly. You'll get one error.
It is outside the scope, sir.
Yes, because str will act as a what? Local variable. Okay, that will be closed within this bracket only. You are trying to access str outside that bracket. How will it be possible? See here, I'll uncomment it. Can you see your error is coming up? Saying that str cannot be resolved. It is not reachable. Got the clarity? So what I have done to avoid that conflict only, I have directly collected here. I'll tell scan dot next method. Okay. See guys, when you see the code, don't be in a hurry to answer. Now I told you, right? I have some interview questions from one of the company, Bridgeshop. There they have given the code for multiple choice for the coding. You have to observe, analyze, then only you have to give the answer. You'll be having less time, but you do not be in a hurry and tell wrong answer. Properly observe. The concept can be connected from any corner of the Java regarding local variable. Now you never thought that in this inheritance concept, I'll ask the variable scope, what is that question? So you gave the wrong answer. Understood? Yes or no? Understanding, right? Why
Yes, sir.
you are sitting so seriously? Okay, done. So we can proceed now. Now, if you see here what is happening here is, if user tell one here, Windows object we are only creating and we are calling that method. Okay, here also Linux means Linux object is getting created during run. Now, this concept I want to avoid. Okay, I don't want to create an object manually every time whenever choice is being selected. I want that object to be created automatically. Okay, because when you learn the higher concept called something called frameworks, okay, basically Spring, okay, Spring and Hibernate, those things follows kind of design patterns. Okay, there are multiple types of design pattern. For an example of singleton design pattern, okay, factory design pattern, style of coding. Okay, now what does that factory design pattern happens here is, most of the work object creation will be taken care by them. Only the thing is you need to utilize it and you have to work, because in a Java you manually create an object is one of the costliest affair. You should not deal with that. Let all those process take care by those things. Now, frameworks means here, what is a framework? Actual application in IT today will be developing using framework. Whatever application you develop now, 70% of the code will be written by automatically by the frameworks. Only you have to write the 30% of the code. In that, all this object creation, implementing class, service layer, JPA layer, repository layer, all those things is automatically happening. You just need to call the right method and write the right business logic over there. Okay, since I don't have all those things, let's create our own factory design pattern. Understanding what I'm trying to say? Let's create our own factory design pattern. Now, what is a factory means? Factory is nothing but a place in which something is getting manufactured. Agree with my point? Like that only, let's create a factory design pattern for our program where based on the user choice, object will be created for you and let it be written. Understanding? Online understood?
Yes, sir.
What is that I'm telling? I want to create a factory. In that, based on the user choice, let it create an object and return to me. Clear? Okay. Shall I write it on the board or execute directly is fine? Execution is fine. Huh? Okay. So what I'll do, I'll create a separate class for that. I'll tell class factory. Okay. Okay. I'll create a class factory. Okay. Now what I'll do, inside this one, I'll create a static method. I believe you know, right? What is the static difference between static method and normal method? Static method can be called directly with the help of a class name. Non-static method, to access that we require an object. Yes, I'll tell you as static. Wait this. No, let me write it on the board because I need to have show you multiple things. Oh. Okay. Now what we are running is factory design part. Now okay, online earthquake in. Don't worry. Everything is fine. So what is that? I have a class OS. Huh? Why the fact? Okay, I have a class called OS. I'll not write complete code, okay? I'll write the short because already we have written. I have a class called Windows. I have a class called Linux. I have a class called which one? Mac. Okay, all the code you write. Now I want my method to execute in such a way that I'll collect the user. Okay, which class he wants to execute. Now we have given one choice. If user tell once, only Windows is getting executed. Like that, I'll collect the user. If user enters one, automatically object of Windows class should be created and it should come and it should execute. Okay. Now let me write the main method first. Okay, I'll tell here as class main. Inside this one, I'll write public static void main. Okay. Now in this program, let me give a choice. I'll tell you as system.out.println enter choice. Okay, assume that I have given all the messages and all. I'll tell you as int of choice. Let me collect a string choice this time. Okay, string integer we have seen. I'll tell scan dot next method. Okay, user will enter Windows means WIN, Linux means LIN, Mac means MS. Okay, like that string choice and pattern. Now I want to write a code in short form. Now you have seen in the switch case what I have done. I have written 3 lines to create one to create an object, one to execute boot method, one to shut down. Same thing for Linux, same thing for Mac. Assume that I have 10 classes, means how many? 30 lines of code I have to write. Yes or no? Understanding right? I want to avoid that. I want to reduce the number of lines because with the help of factory design pattern we can achieve. Now what I'll do here is okay. Now what I'll do, I'll create a class. Class name I'll tell it as a factory class. Okay, factory class. Now I'll tell it as I'll create one static method. I'll tell it as public static. Okay, return type I'll give it as a dash. Okay, you should tell me the return type of this method. I'll tell it as get object. Okay, I'll tell it as a string str. Visible, right? Str. Now I'll collect a value str from the user. That is, from here I'll pass WIN, LIN or MS. If user tell WIN, means it should collect that WIN here. Based on the condition, Windows object should be created and it should be returned. Understanding what is factory is happening over there? I'll tell you as if str dot equals I'll tell WIN. Okay, WIN. I'll tell here as return new Windows object. Anonymous object I am creating and return. Okay. Otherwise, I'll tell else if condition str dot equals I'll tell Linux. Okay. Then what I'll do here is I'll tell return new Linux. Okay. Object. Otherwise, else if str dot equals I'll tell what Mac. Okay, Mac user enters. I'll tell here as return new Mac. Guys, carefully listen. Don't write anything or don't use your laptop or phone. Important concept. Now tell me, is this condition is clear? Now assume that I will pass some value from here. Okay, that is, let me tell user enters here as Windows. I want to call this method and pass that value. Since this is the static method, I can directly call by class name. So I'll tell here what factory dot get object method of choice. This is clear. This is final to call a method. So let it come here. Initially, control will come to the main method. It will come here. Enter the choice. User will enter what? WIN. Let me tell here as user will enter as WIN. I'm telling in the factory class, call the object method, pass the variable WIN. Means correct. So from here, what will happen? Control will come and call this particular method. Okay. Just keeping this one. Return type I'll discuss later. Assume that method is calling to this one. Now what is there in str? WIN. Okay. Now come here. WIN equals WIN. True or false? True. Then control will come inside is condition. It will what will happen? Automatically Windows object is getting created and it will return. So that value I'll collect it here. Okay. I'll collect. Let me tell as REF. Okay. And what I need to write here, it depends on this one what you are passing. Okay. Now I have collected that object. Now what I do, I will write a program to execute the methods. Okay. Now I'll tell here as I'll check. I'll tell here as if if I tell that you will get a hint, I don't want to give it true also. What I can do here is I'll tell it as ref dot boot. Okay, ref dot shutdown. Okay, I'll close the main method, I'll close the class. Let's do the tracing of this program. User will enter Windows. I'm telling in the factory class called get object method, pass the Windows object. It will come here, call the get object method, pass the Windows reference. It will come here, object is getting created, it will return the method. Of what it is returning? Object of a Windows class, it is been stored here. Now in REF, what is that? Reference, object of Windows class. Now tell me, object of Windows class dot boot, object of Windows class dot shutdown. Which will be executed? What will be executed here?
A Mac class. So being class booting method. Booting
Windows class booting and shutdown method will be executed. Why? Because reference contains Windows object. Assume that once again you will run the program. User will enter what? Let me tell Mac here. Okay, it will pass a Mac here. It will get Mac here. Now tell me, Mac equals Windows no, false. It will come back here. Else it. Mac equals to Linux no, it will come back here. Tell me, Mac equals to Mac object of Mac will be created. It will return. So what does my reference contain? Mac object. Now tell me, Mac dot boot, Mac dot shutdown means what? Which method will be executed? Mac class boot and shutdown method will be executed.
Both method.
Means what is happening here? Now tell me, in the previous program, I told you right, 3 lines for Windows, 3 to call boot and shutdown. How many? For 3 classes, 2 lines we have written. 10 classes with 10 lines. Now tell me, if I follow this approach, let it be 10 class or 100 class. How many lines I should write? Only 2 lines. Based on the user choice, automatically it will go, it will collect the data, it will store it and it will execute. Understanding what is happening here? Now, you should tell me what should I write the return type of this method.
Suppose that I don't need to run the shutdown method. Suppose that I don't need to run the shutdown.
We'll come back to that later. Now I know your questions. If I want to ignore this, what I should do? We'll come back to that later. Let's finish this part. Now, what should be the return type of this? Integer?
No, sir.
String?
Can I use it as a generic like the what T? Some main time we are creating a generic class of generic.
What is the T?
T is the return type, but it's not defined like that. So we are calling it generic. I don't understand.
I got your point. That is, you are telling like this T will come, otherwise question mark will come. This is what you are telling, right? I know, but these people are not aware of all those things, so I can't tell that one. But the T or that question mark has to be replaced by something. Can't you just put a T there? You have to replace that. What is that? Then tell me what should be the return type. Can I write the return type of this method as a string? No, right? Why? Because string cannot contain Windows object. I cannot tell int cannot contain Windows object. Yes or no? Then what should be the return type of a method? Online, are you there? Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Think and tell me, guys.
Sir, I'm not sure about that. We can write it as object or not.
Huh?
So I'm not sure about it. We can write it object or not.
Object.
Yeah.
OBJECT. See, guys, your friend is telling me to write an object. What is the object? What is this object?
Sir, class.
Very good. Class or data type. Everything it works. Now tell me, this object is the parent of all the classes. Okay. Now if you ask me, can you write an object? Yes, you can write. It will work. Absolutely. But there will be one problem in this. Output will come. There is a concept called downcasting concept. To teach the downcasting only I am teaching all this. Okay. Right now, let's not discuss about object. Because object is a higher level. Okay. Now you are storing the basic Windows class inside. So what you are doing? Bringing top object to the lower class. So downcasting. From lower, if you go up, we call it as upcasting. There are two types of typecasting. I'll discuss that. For that only I'm teaching this. Huh? That is implicit and explicit is typecasting is there. But here downcasting is. Next. What can be the return type? Now look at here, guys. I can write the return type of a which one I want to do. I want to return Windows object. I'll write here as a Windows object. Okay, listen to me first. Okay. If I write here Windows, it will come here. I'll tell new object of Windows should be returned. Okay, it will Windows object and Windows class return type. Both are matching. Yes, it will work. But what about Linux? Linux cannot work. See, in the Windows reference, you cannot show the Linux object. Yes or no? Not possible. So, Windows I cannot write. Okay, then what I do? I'll write a Linux. If you write a Linux, you cannot store Windows and Mac. Okay, then you write Mac. Mac means Windows and Linux cannot be stored. Then what it can do? Understanding? What is the problem you are getting? Answer is, think about that. Anything else? OS, you're telling this class. Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. Then blindly throwing some answer, whether it is correct or not. It's correct. Yes. Why? Because if I write here OS, now if I want to return Windows, what is Windows here? Windows is the child class of OS. Linux is also child class of OS. Mac is also child class of OS. Remember, arrays of object concept you have learned. I showed you, right? In an array, concept told, right? Array concept done, right, for you? Okay. In an array, in a single array, what is the definition of an array? You tell me. Storing homogeneous elements. I showed you that in a single array, you can store multiple type of data. Integer, string, all those things. What is the first technique I showed you that? Object array. Remember object array? Why? Because this integer, string and boolean, whatever the data types are there, all are the child data type of what? Object class. So I showed you what? All the child classes can be stored in the parent reference. Like that only, here Windows, Linux and Mac are the child of OS. Then definitely can be stored into OS. Yes, it is possible. Understanding? Online, you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Good. Any doubts, please do ask. Well, let me repeat my point here. That is, where can if I write here visible? Okay. See here, object is the top level. That is, int, float, string, all are comes under the object only. So, if you create integer, only integer data can be stored. Float means float, string means string only.
If you create an object means you can store int, float and string also. Like that only, if I create here as OS, Windows, Linux and Mac are the child classes of OS. In the OS I can store Windows also, Linux also, Mac also. So let it be any requirement. If I want to return Windows, Linux and Mac, if I declare the return type of this method as OS, I can return all the three. Yes or no? Hence that is possible. So what should be the return type of this one? Is OS. Because what it is returning, it is collecting, it is just a variable. This variable is of type. Got it clarity? Our problem is solved. Now we need not to write any extra code. But in this program, there is one issue, one error will come. Till here you understood? Yes. But one error will come. I want you to identify it. Why error? I'll tell you. Hint. Error will come here. Think about it. You know the answer. Shall I tell you error name also?
Sir, we are providing string, right, sir?
Huh?
The string, we are providing string, sir.
Ah.
So,
What is the problem if I provide the parameter as a string? That should not be a problem, right? I can provide anything, integer, string, whatever I want, I can provide. Okay, I'll give you what is the error name also. Then you let me tell me the answer. Let me see how much you people are preparing for interview. I'll tell error will come in this particular line saying that give the return type of this method. Sorry, return something from this method. It will give you error that is you are not returning anything. But don't you think I'm returning? I'm returning but still it will give me error saying as return.
the static. The static.
Static. Static is no boss. Static is nothing but one permission you are giving for the factory class. Whoever comes with the factory class, you can directly access this particular method. So static is not at all related to that. Error also I gave. Now what you should do? Think. Error is coming as please provide the return type. Means return something from this method. I am returning here also returning, here also returning. Why again it will ask me to return? Good, your only answer is there. Sir, because we are not returning anything outside the OS get method. What? Get object is a method. If you have written the return type of this method, you should return inside this method. You are returning why you want to return outside a method from where you return to whom you return? It's like passing the control. I'm telling your only answer is there. See, observe. Okay, look at it. One more hint. Okay. These many hints no one will give. If I write the return type of a method as a void, should I return anything? No, right? I can remove this return keyword. If I write the return type of this method as an int, integer value should be compulsory return. Means instead of writing all this thing, if I tell here as return 0, then work is done, no error will come. Now, if I tell here as string, compulsory string value has to return. OS I have written. Means OS type of value I'm returning, it should work, still error is. If return type, see here, hint is that if you write a void, compulsory means you need not to compulsory return. If you write any return type apart from void, you need to compulsory return something. Yes or no? Now think. I've written the return type as OS. Compulsory need to be returned. Hey guys, make it fast. We don't have time. I'll give you one more minute. After that, I will tell the answer. At least one will tell I was expecting. No problem. Okay. Because in that manner you are not thinking, that is the reason. But you know, everyone knows the answer. Okay. Now, what is the hint I gave? If the return type is mentioned as void, nothing to be written. So in that case, we have not written void. So that case you ignore. That is not related to us. If I mentioned return type, compulsory it should be written. OS I have written. Means compulsory issue I should written. Now assume that I am passing Windows. It will come here, it will match, it will return. Linux space it will return. Mac will return. If I return pass here as a BMW, tell me, is BMW equals to Windows? Is it equal to Windows Linux? BMW equal to Linux? If I pass here BMW as a Mac, is it matching? At that time, is it returning anything? Return type of a method means compulsory should be returned. BMW is no one is nothing is returning. Hence, it is slapping with the error, return something. सोचो अपने पास ही रखो, कहीं में रखो, सो अलमारी में डाल के ताला डालो, ठीक है? हाँ, problem understood? Then we have to create one more block. One more block. What I should write here? And return. If it's not there, it will return false. Return false. Return type you have written as OS and return is false. Boolean, na? He will cry. I am of type OS. You are telling Boolean value. He will cry. What I can do? Online understood?
Sir, can we write a string?
Huh?
Can we return string type OS?
String type OS. How to create a string type OS? Tell me. I don't know. Please be a little bit louder. I can't hear you.
Can we return string, sir?
How, madam? See, your friend told Boolean value. Let it be a Boolean or string or integer float, irrespective of any data type. Is it compatible with OS type? No. Integer or string or Boolean. Okay. It is not the child of OS. Then how can you return? Again, it will throw you error. Either you should return OS only, or you need to return Windows, Linux, or Mac. Only those are the options you have. Otherwise, one more is there, special, which is very helpful and very dangerous in the developer's life. That is null value. Null. If you don't play with null properly, your life will become hell being a developer. Null pointer exception gone is. Okay, then it will take a lot of time to debug it. So let's come back here. See here, to solve this problem, multiple approaches are also there based on your technique. Okay, one technique, as you told, I can tell here as else, I can tell here as return null value. Null is compatible with OS. Yes, null is compatible with everyone. Okay, it is compatible with everyone, irrespective of anything. So it will also work. Now, will it throw any error or return? No, it will not ask you to return anything. Either if nothing is satisfied, it will come here, it will return. Clear? Now, assume that user passes here as BMW. Nothing is matching, it is returning null. So what will return here? Null. What is there in reference? What is there in reference now? REF. Null. I'm telling null dot boot, null dot shutdown. Output is? Output is? अरे जोर से बोलो, खाया नहीं क्या?
Null, sir.
हाँ?
Null output.
Null pointer exception. Null means empty. Null means nothing. On nothing or empty, you are performing a calling a boot operation means it will say yes null pointer exception. How can I overcome this problem?
By using try catch.
Try catch.
Exception handling.
They don't know exception. Good. That is correct. But I can't tell them no exception handling. Now next. You know the answer for this also. What is that? I don't want to change the code here. If it is Windows, I want him to execute or any this class. If it is null, I don't want him to execute this. What I can do?
So can we check the if RE
The system dot exit, sir.
then we will print the backup in valid size. Otherwise, we'll
Yes.
print the
Yes, that is the correct answer. That only we have to do. That is, I'll tell you as if REF is not equal to. Okay, if I tell here not equal to null, at that time you execute. Okay, otherwise put else condition, tell here as system dot out dot println null return or give any message up to your choice. That's it. Clear? The problem is solved. Understanding? When you
Yes,
have to execute, if it's not returning null, if it is returning null, it will just tell this message. That's so that you will not get a null pointer exception. Yes. Just to quickly copy this and execute and come. Otherwise, I'll execute and come. Make it fast. Done?
Done, sir.
Okay, will you execute and come this one? Try execute. And please come up with some questions. Ask the questions. Okay. Let me know if you have required any. And assignment for you is, I don't want to use this condition. Else return null is there na? Else condition I don't want to do. Use. Apart from that, try any other technique and come and try to resolve this. Okay. Whatever null you want to do or what you want to use, you use it. I just want to use one more else condition unnecessary. Okay. Try and let me know what you can do. Fine. That is your assignment. Do research. Don't use Google or ChatGPT, anything else. If you use your life. Okay. Fine, yes. Thank you. That's it from my side for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.